All right, good evening and welcome to your view with me on Kopotse JJ Tabane. On a day like this, obviously, we touch on the week that was. We just sort of give you some highlights of what happened this week. But before we do that, I was fascinated, in the news throughout the day about the Americans, The Americans cracking the whip on the Guptas. My English teacher, fellow Comestan Patlele, at Terflop, in English 100, it was called English 100. Used to say, a lie will go around the world while the truth is still putting its boots on. So these Guptas, they can run, but they can't hide. So they could run to Dubai and so on, and the Americans are cracking the whip, a superpower saying whoever does business with them anywhere in the world will face American sanctions. That should teach them a lesson, That should teach them a lesson. But it should also trigger in us to say, are we slow in acting? Because the Americans didn't waste time. I know that you may not like Americans much, but that's neither here nor there today. I'm just saying, the Guptas are already suffering the consequences. Here they are running away. They are cooking a snook at the judge, saying, "Oh, we are in Dubai. We can testify through Skype." Yet our prosecuting authority guys here haven't done anything. If these guys don't want to go to the commission, it means that basically they are waiving their right to come and explain themselves at the commission. So just prosecute them. There's so much information. If you look at that, just ESCOM alone, these guys should be put in prison without bail, man, and just wait for their trial. I don't know what dilly-dally, we're still finding a way, I don't know of what. These guys are trying to run away, and we are still slowly, getting nowhere slowly in prosecuting. But the Americans, very selective, because, Pusasa was as thinking as the Guptas, rotten to the core, man. Rotten. If you listen to Agrisi, you will think these people were at a theft festival, a bribery festival, bribing left, right, and center. Bribing people with cash, unashamedly, man. Putting cash in Louis Vuitton bags for to do money, bribing, chicken pieces. It's a mess. It's terrible. But they escaped the Americans. The Americans are saying they've been investigating, they've listened to, they say they've watched the news, they've seen what's been in the... Musasa has been all over the news for weeks. Greece is even coming back. What's escaped by death? What's so? Before Ruto stories are. They are not sanctioned. Sasa are not sanctioned by the Americans. The Americans can be very selective. The Americans should send Zuma, just alone, a letter barring him from leaving KZN, basically. Come the Americans, they're very selective. But we're not surprised, We're not surprised. Let's see what we had to say this week about Helen Zille and Dade Musi Maima. Let's take a look.
I'm not here to pronounce on any candidate. We've got 4 people who are standing. She is one of them. Ethel Trollip is another. Mike Waters, Thomas Walters. These are candidates that will stand. Let them stand. Let the delegates decide what kind of future they want. It's an important position in the organization. And I think the people of the DA will pronounce themselves at the Federal Council.
And that's the trouble, isn't it? Musi has got to grow a pair. Must grow some balls and say, I don't want Helen Zille to be the chairperson of the Federal Executive because she'll be ruling from the grave. Zille is the Zuma of the DA. It's the Zuma of the DA in many ways. Firstly, that people surrounding her in the DA do not want to call her to order. They let her get away with so many things that any other leader of the DA who did the things that Zille did, who said the things that Zille said, should have been fired by now. And now, that's coming to bite Musi. Because he dilly-dallied and soft pedals are around Zille. That's why Zille is back now thinking that she could come back and rule from the grave. Mugabe. Zille is bad news for you, Musi. A few years ago, I wrote in my book to say, watch out for those around you who pretend to support you, who who are going to rain on your parade. And that letter to you was triggered by what happened when you were elected leader. A few incidents to jog your memory, because we have short memories. We have short memories. Zille, right, defended Alistair Sparks. His soul also rest in peace. Alistair Sparks, who came to a congress where a black leader was being elected for the first time in the DA. A move in the right direction by any account, a move in the right direction as observed by many, many political commentators. But in that moment, Alistair Sparks said, why the Verwoerd was such a clever guy, you know? Zille defended that. It's not an accident that all the candidates in a DA, we were told, oh, the DA is so diverse. And so in a diverse so-called DA, all the candidates who want to be chairperson of the Federal Council are white people. Because clearly there must have a pact sign somewhere. Hey, no, Ronaldo was going to give you the leadership, but you give us the Federal Council. The white and black caucuses at play. I want them to come here and deny it. They must deny it to idiots who will believe them. Otherwise, they must tell me whether in the entire DA, with so many black people, colored people in them, there's not one who can be a federal chair now to support the vision of Musi, who's the current leader now. You want me to define racism without dictionary? This is the dictionary definition of it. A party that says we are diverse, but all the candidates are white who are going there. Why don't we have a black candidate who wants to be chairperson of the Federal Council if it is not a pact struck somewhere in the dark corners? Yeah, in Habatamo, they will tell you, no, there's no black caucus, there's no white caucus. Tell that to the birds. All right. The DA in deep trouble, eh? In deep trouble. The trouble you see in the country is that we actually do need a strong opposition. And I think that overall the DA has done well over the years, but there's a switch, man. They must go to the main switch, just switch something that just takes them to 2019. Because some of their members, some of their leaders, switch, man. Or they can't see the almanac, the calendar, since 1981. Just need a switch, fella. No. We now register Nokia, remote Samsung, and by switch phalange. That's what they need. They need a mental switch to their thinking, you know. Anyway, state capture in full swing this week, and it promises to be in full swing even next week with the Zuma coming. And as I said, Dudu Zille, you know, behaving like father, like son. Let's take a look.
Your Ladyship, the first plaintiff asked me last night to actually approach you this morning to explain her situation, that she does respect this court, she wants to proceed to defend herself. At this stage, she is unemployed, she's looking for employment, she has got no income at all. She is trying to raise funds in order to proceed with this matter. However, she cannot guarantee that she will be able, in a month or two, to be able to raise funds. So, in the meanwhile, she has requested me to continue to talk to the insurance company, which we have been doing. My learned friend said there is a reply. The only reply we got from the insurance are issues relating to the state capture, where the cover was declined. As far as the cover for this matter is concerned, we have got no record of a declining or a cover being extended. And therefore, your Ladyship would know that to instruct counsel under those circumstances, the attorney will bear responsibility to pay for the counsel fees.
So, Dudu Muyeni, you know, I can understand many people who are broke, but this is a person who sits on more than 4 boards. With a payment to attend one board meeting, she can buy a flight star ticket. It actually, there was a special of 99 cents. Yeah, flight that you can book into, then there was a special like that. I'm serious, right? But even if it was not 99 cents, she can fly. She can get a one-way ticket from Durban. No, one-way, because hopefully she could go to prison after that court case. So she don't need to go to KZ, and she can serve time Komampuru. It's actually a shameful thing that someone who has destroyed the airline like she did over 5 years of horror today tells us that she has no money to travel to court to face the music. You're telling me that a person like that doesn't have friends at SAA? I mean, they could hook her up there with a free ticket. And I wouldn't be surprised if a person like that still has staff tickets, even though she's no longer staff, because she's bloody corrupt. Very corrupt. And she was complaining here. She took us to the BCCM and she can go there again. But we need to use people like Dudu Mieni as examples of what kind of civil servants we should never be. You must be ashamed of yourself. Twiddly-do, twiddly-dum. Let's look at another twiddly-dum. Duduzane Zuma.
On Monday, Duduzane Zuma criticized Madonsela, saying she did not give him an opportunity to have his say in her state of capture report.
Some of us have been integral to those investigations. We've sit here alleged of all sorts of wrongdoing, corruption, bribery. You know, it's been going on almost on a daily basis from about 3 years ago. So what I would have expected was a fair opportunity to represent or reflect on my side of the story, like I'm doing here yesterday and today. I didn't get that opportunity.
He had this to say to the commission when he was done on the stand.
I'm not sure if I'll have an opportunity to speak ever again, so once I leave this chair, I just want to satisfy that.
Yes, you can make your point.
Thank you. I'm looked at as a criminal. I'm looked at as this face of corruption, this guy that's plundered trillions out of this country, which is not the case, by the way. You know, so I'd just like to say to the public out there, I'm not corrupt. I'm not taking any money from anybody. I never have, and I never will.
I just feel pity for Thuli Madonsela, because, you know, Thuli is like what I can call a meeting point of lies for the Zumas. How do Thuli Mobona? You trigger a lie. All right, going to leave it there. We've run out of time completely, but what a week it was. But hey, next week, when Zuma stand, you must just assume one thing: we're going to be subjected to Angazi. I don't remember. I don't even think Zuma remembers that he was president of a country for 9 years. Wait. The way his memory just evaporates when he stands on his lawyers have a very simple strategy: deny, 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 and it will somehow all go away. Well, Judge Zondo, you got a lot of work next week, hey? Because Sika Khan is going to come and look you straight in the face and also join Zuma in a festival of lies. Unfortunately, that's the die that we have been cast. At the bottom of this hour, SARS Commissioner is our newsmaker tonight. Stay tuned.